Are we on the brink of a seismic shift in global economics? 5 nations known collectively as BRICS are setting the stage for a dramatic change, and it's all about gold. But let's back it up a little bit first and understand who BRICS are. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and they're a group of major emerging economies. Recently, they have everybody talking because they've announced plans for a new currency, and here's the twist. It's backed by gold. This could have huge impacts on global trade because it establishes those nations as a powerful economic bloc with a common currency. This is bad because the world depends on the US dollar as a currency right now to be the main stabilizer. But during 2020, 2021, 2022, the US government's been printing too much money, and it's led to a lot of inflation. That inflation has had ripple effects around the world, and now people are looking for other options. If they have another good competitor like they do now with the BRICS golden dollar, I'll call it that, the BRICS golden dollar, that could reduce dependency on the US dollar and euro in global trade. That will shift the balance towards the east and the south. This will give Russia a lot of power, India a lot of power, and the BRICS countries. Not good when war with Russia is currently happening, war with China might be happening with the Taiwan, Japan, and Philippines blockade that the US put up. So there's a lot going on there, and it's not a good time for China and Russia to get super powerful. There's going to be a big announcement in August, and there are some surprises expected at that August announcement. They're going to do detailed plans for the implementation of a gold-backed currency. There might be alliances with other nations. We might see more people join BRICS and start adding themselves to this pile. And then there's going to be clarification on how easy it'll be to turn current currencies into gold. Now, this worries me as somebody who holds a lot of US dollars, because this could challenge the dollar's dominance. If it's widely adopted, it could challenge the US dollar's status as the global reserve currency. Economies leaning towards BRICS might start favoring the BRICS-backed currency, of course, and a successful gold-backed currency could lead to a global shift in monetary policy. The US has been off the gold standard since the 70s. There's nothing backing the US dollar. People might now realize that you can actually back it with gold instead of promises, and they might come right back to this new currency. That would make the BRICS currency more stable than the US dollar and a better reserve currency. That's where I'm frightened. A successful gold-backed currency could pressure the US to return to the gold standard. The price of gold's going to go up. I know that. I got this gold on my wrist. I'm about to be rich. I'm about to be rich, fellas. All right, let's be serious. Let's be serious for a second. The US would never join BRICS because it's all of their enemies, but the world might all switch to a gold currency, and maybe the US would run it at the end of the day. The other big question is, can BRICS deliver on the gold conversion promise? BRICS nations would need to hold a substantial amount of gold, and they need to manage that gold supply, the value, and international confidence is crucial. Countries with smaller gold reserves might face challenges in maintaining the currency's stability. Also, some of the BRICS nations aren't necessarily known for their honesty. China, for instance, lied about their economy and even their population for years. Russia as well, some might say, is on the brink of complete disaster with the Ukrainian war. And so the chances that they'll be able to hold this gold standard are low. As of right now, China and Russia do have significant gold reserves, but India, Brazil, and South Africa have less. So it depends on the value assigned to the new currency and how much gold is used to back it. What will this do to gold prices? Gold prices are probably going to surge due to increased demand. Like I said earlier, we're all going to get rich. Time to buy some gold. Fiat currencies, especially those not backed by gold, could depreciate against a new currency, which could be bad for the US dollar and might lead to a lot of market volatility. In fact, let's do something different. Let's do an alternate history style timeline of what happens. The immediate effects. August 2023. There's an announcement by BRICS nations which leads to a global diplomatic tension. The US and European Union express concerns. Rumors of political meetings and strategic alliances are happening. Now that the stage has been set for this gold standard, let's move to the short term, 2023 to 2025. BRICS starts building infrastructure for the new currency amidst global skepticism. There's a potential gold rush scenario where countries with untapped gold reserves trigger environmental concerns. Countries heavily dependent on the US dollar, like Saudi Arabia, begin exploring alternatives. Now let's talk about the medium term, 2025. The rollout of the currency begins, internal disagreement within BRICS surfaces, leading to doubts about the long-term viability of the currency. First adopters outside of BRICS are mainly nations with strained US or EU relations or strong BRICS trade ties. Now let's talk about the long term, 2028 and beyond. The new currency sees more extensive adoption, causing significant shifts in global trade dynamics. BRICS face increasing political and economic pressure from countries whose economies have been disrupted. The US, Eurozone, and Japan explore alternatives, including digital currencies, to retain economic influence. Now, that could happen. Everything could be destabilized. Maybe this is a new rise of crypto. This is not good for the US, I know that. But there are some challenges. Maintaining large enough gold reserves while mitigating environmental impact might be tough. People might be strip mining their own countries, and then there's going to be environmental concerns, which goes against what everybody else has been saying, where everyone else is trying to save the world. Now what? They're going to be strip mining everything? That's not going to work for anybody. There might also be internal disagreements and power imbalances within BRICS. Let's say that India wants to align with the United States. Now they're inside of BRICS and they have to align with China during World War III, this new war that's coming out, or may come out. So that's not going to be good. They also need to gain acceptance and trust from non-BRICS nations. Remember what I said earlier about China not being trustworthy as an economy? You got to trust them to join BRICS, right? They're also going to need to manage political opposition and potential economic retaliation from displaced powers. The US isn't going to like being dethroned, neither is Europe, and they have all the weapons. US has all the weapons right now, so I would hate to be China or Russia going head-to-head with them. However, Russia and China are now going to have all the money so they can build new weapons. Anyway, it's not good because now you have a bunch of nuclear powers that are basically in a full-on economic war, and that normally leads to real war. Also, countries heavily reliant on the US dollar might face economic challenges. The new global economic landscape would require rethinking of existing trade and economic agreements. People might start distancing themselves from the United States and Europe and joining BRICS, which is very much not a good thing. What do you think? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the situation. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.